Hey guys, we have a replay here. This is in Plat 1. I had a bunch of losses doing my 2TC strat. I was having a really hard time transitioning my military and reacting. I think if you're playing Mongols and you build barracks and regular archers and stuff, it's definitely a lot more feasible. Um, the all cav strat is still going though. I am starting to really think out what is my second civ is going to be. Just because once I get up to a certain point, it's just not being able to counter certain unit comps properly is definitely really tough. So with that being said, I still feel like Mongols all cav is still it's still decent. It'll get you to plat for sure. It'll probably get you up to diamond, but I don't know if it's gonna get you through diamond to conquer. Kind of like in season one. Anywho, we're playing against English. He is a Capitan Zombie, and we're just kind of going for like scout out his base a little bit. He does go immediately to scouts. I'm surprised he doesn't pick up all of these sheep. He had a good amount of sheep haul, so I'm surprised. Well, now I understand why I lost. I didn't get any sheep over here, because he had sent his scout there. It felt like I was running through a pre-scouted an already scouted zone. So we're getting our wheelbarrow upgrade and fast mining our gold. So he only got one sheep over here from this side, and he's got 5 sheep here. So he only did like a little under half the map. He didn't even go to the halfway point. So he definitely kind of um, reduced his amount of sheep haul in some sense because he really didn't scout more than half the map with 2 scouts, and maybe one scout coming back and the other one should have kept scouting. That's part of the plus of having 2 scouts, especially if one had 4 sheep like he did. So he's got a ton of sheep, and he's scouting again. We're on 10 on food. We got up to 11, but then I kind of transition. I feel like if I go 11 or 12 on food, my wood count is really low by the time I age up to age 2. So I'm going to change this a little bit and pull my villagers off of there. We get a couple more sheep here. You can see he's scouting. Now he's kind of chilling in this bottom stealth forest. And it looks like he's going to pick up a couple of sheep probably of mine over here shortly. So we just beat him to the punch with this sheep. Yeah, we just barely beat him to the punch with that sheep. And there's a sheep right here that we both missed, it seems like. And both of his scouts are kind of conglomerating in the same spot, so he ends up picking up that sheep. So that's kind of a mistake on his part. This one sheep, after cutting up the middle, definitely should have wrapped around the side. So he's scouting my base. Let's see what he can kind of see here. Sees my TC, and he sees my Uvu, and he's gonna start burning down my Uvu. Whether it's gold or, if I place my TC here, actually, yeah, if I place my TC here, I probably could have been able to protect both of these pretty easily. So a little bit unfortunate, but not end of the world. We're gonna age up now. I think I pull off just one villager to age up, and then yeah, I get 2 on there, and then I don't want to lose this Uvu early. So I pull my villagers off of food, 4 back on, and then 4 onto a tower. I gotta work on my hotkeys as well. There's a cool little mini game on AOE4world.com called Aegis for hotkeys. I gotta practice that before I play. I think just do it for a couple rounds every day. Things like the tower, stables, especially the H2, H3 things. I find myself clicking the icons instead of playing it properly. So he's tapping up slow, so he's not going for a super fast H2 rush, which I could kind of tell because he didn't age up in time. So we get this tower up, which is going to cost us 100 wood, but it's important to kind of defend this and he's very persistent about burning down my Uber. So I have to garrison one villager throughout this pretty much to kind of keep that um, off of my base. So I'm sending back a villager now. Still tapping up. We've got 300 wood and 12 on wood. Um, our macro, you can see there, went offline for a little bit. We're finishing scouting this side. We do pick up a couple more sheep. Um, yeah, he scouted this whole bottom side, but he never scouted that top northern side. Mistake on his part, especially for having 2 scouts. So his eco is definitely, he's still going hard in wood, and he's rallying onto wood, and he's gonna have to keep doing that especially if he's gonna be doing a longbow push. So we're just repairing our Ubu, garrison our villager, kind of hopping between those two. He's watching us, so when we start repairing, he comes back. Yeah, so he's checking on us every now and then, and we're hopping back and forth. But we're about to age up, and we're gonna start dropping some military production. Not immediately, but shortly. And I am gonna get this upgrade immediately, the arrow sets, because it's just annoying having to constantly do this. So I leave my villager in here. Yep, there we go. We have enough wood to tap up now, or to get our second TC up. And you can see he is still aging up. He's got a barracks out. So that's with the barracks. I didn't have it scouted yet, but that barracks, it looks like it's going to be aggressive play. And he's coming up, and now he sees the second TC. Yeah, so he fully scouts it just to make sure he's seeing what he's seeing, and now he's going longbowman, and he'll be going spearman too. So a couple spearmen, a couple longbows. So he's gonna go for a push now. Especially since he sees 2 CC, he knows he has to play aggressive here. So we tap up. We've got 11 on food. We put all of these wood villagers. We were still rallying over there, which is kind of a mistake. Now we're rallying onto food. These 10 villagers, we just have them start chopping on this line here. I was kind of doing 7, 8 villagers on the wood line, but I think just taking these 10-ish and chopping is really important. Infrastructure, especially when you're behind in terms of infrastructure, is super important that you can keep up with that and devote a lot of resources to it. Army-wise, he's still making spearmen, and you can tell he's kind of suffering for wood here. He got 14 on wood. He dropped the blacksmith. Blacksmith is very synonymous with ram pushes. So I can see his army here, and it's not the biggest. You know, it's decent. He's got 5 longbow and 2 spearmen. I see more longbow coming in, so it feels like, you know, it's a possibility of a push. I'm getting my horsemen. I've already upgraded my horsemen as well, and we wrap around the side here and we see the blacksmith. At which point it's pretty much, now we know that we're gonna get the ram push now. So I'm finishing the second stable, and I'm gonna make an archery range to start dealing with the pressure. At the same time, we're still macroing here. Onto food, we need a lot of food. We have 6 on gold, so we're getting plenty of gold production. We have more than enough gold production. It's gonna be able to get us the age up as well, residually, as well as upgrades and units. So we scout the full round of his base and kind of see what's happening. He's getting aggressive here. He went forward with spearmen, so even if I had scouted this, there wasn't much I was going to do about this. He's got 5 spearmen, 10 archers. So he's got a decent sized army, that's for sure. Us, on the other hand, we've got a bunch of horsemen. We're building a couple more and a scout, which is going to give us vision, and the scout's going to let us know that there's no nothing. He's out of range, so unfortunate. So over here, I realize I'm running out of food. I dropped one pasture, and I'm looking at this. I'm like, okay, there's no way I'm gonna be able to keep up here. So I drop off that food with 14 villagers, and we pull them off to this berries right here, which is the closest. At the same time, we do finally notice he has this army. We're all cav at this point, but it's a decent enough force to kind of slow him down. So I think it's pretty important to get the double stables and just pump out horsemen. It's cheaper stone cost than the manga die. Sure, I might have been able to win this with double manga die coming out of here, but or given a fight out here in the field, but it might not have been the best play. So we just kind of harass here. It delays his reinforcements. His reinforcements fall back. He's dropping a tower. He needs to keep his wood production going. We try to get a raid into the back and do some damage here. Not the best of plays. We basically lose horsemen for uh, 50 damage on one longbowman, so not worth it. We are able to take out this one scout, which does reduce his visibility. And we're working on his reinforcement line a little bit here with these horsemen. But he's pushing out with all these spearmen, and we just kind of have to pull our army. He sees the horsemen coming now too, so he has to pull his rams back because they pull the spearmen to defend. So we pick off that one straggler spearman, but his longbows just pick off our manga die. I should just fallen back there, and we just have to fall back. We can't really fight this comp well because we don't have enough archers to fight this. If we had just a straight archer comp, again, if you're just playing a normal Civ or no, even normal Mongols, just go straight double archer production. You have no problems fighting these longbows, fighting these spears, pull villagers to burn the rams if they push up. So he's getting aggressive here with his rams. I do have double TC, so I can kind of sacrifice some villagers here. I lose one, lose two. We lost three villagers actually, but we're able to kind of slow down this push a little bit and make him step back. His army's kind of regrouping, and he doesn't have a huge food eco going, but he's got plenty of food. He's only got 18 on food right now. Us, we've got 15, but that's because they're getting pulled. Yeah, okay, I was gonna say. So there's 11 going to food right now. Overall, you can see our eco's at 42 and his at 36. So we still have an eco lead. We maintained an eco lead, even though we've been losing villagers. We're losing this infrastructure here, but behind this, with these lumberjacks that were here, we took a few of them and we built more infrastructure. We're building more ranges now. Basically, the big issue that's gonna mess up our horsemen when we have to take out these rams is gonna be spearmen. Longbows are gonna be really harassing, and but our TCs are gonna take down these longbowmen. So that's a big thing. While he's burning stuff down, burning this down, we're getting a nice Mangadine mass going. We put more food villagers from here. We have so many, and we're gonna get a pretty good amount of chunk of damage down on this one ram. And we do lose our blacksmith, but we do burn down one ram. And I kind of commit, I don't know, 4 or 5 villagers to that. So it's kind of expensive in terms of villager cost, but we do get that down, and then we get these guys to drop this range to finish building it. Behind this, he's just slowly trickling in a ton of troops. He's got plenty of food production, and we got pretty decent amount of resources, both of us. We're able to work on his reinforcement lines now with his manga dice. We got basically 7 horse archers, and this can make commit to pushing us here, and he just garrisons everyone not to lose units. So we just pop out and burn, and he's gonna pop his units out. We're just gonna garrison. He's gonna take out a bunch of his units. So we're gonna come back now because these garrisons are out and about and trying to burn down this TC as fast as he can. We're aging up behind this with our step readout, which is a decent age up considering we're getting pushed. 1.5 minutes. And we don't even worry about the little bit of damage these villagers are going to take, and we just focus on rebuilding the TC. Behind this, he's now looking to age up. Yeah, he just dropped his age up over there. Looks like he's sending 7 villagers over. He's not super big into building it fast, which is kind of surprising. Yeah, he's 6, which is kind of surprising because King's Palace is a second TC, and he's behind. He knows he's behind on TC. So we're at 50 eco, and he's at 42. So I think he thought he did enough damage throughout that to keep me out of it. But throughout this, we were double producing. We were constantly producing units out of our TCs. Well, right now we're not. Big mistake, especially since we have food production, doing other things. But yeah, this is these little mistakes of 10 seconds, 20 seconds are 2 villagers, and in these and it always adds up to eco. So we're gonna start raiding Mangadai up here. We have 5 archery ranges, and we have a good wood income throughout all of this. Throughout this whole siege and everything, we had a really good wood income. So that was pretty big and important to maintain kind of stability. He's tapping up his King's Palace. Army wise, he's got 18 army, so he's got 13 longbows. So he's going to definitely do some serious damage. Our cons use this, and we're pulling our Mangadai down south to kind of avoid that. Ubu is depleted, so we're going to have to build a new Ubu here shortly. And yeah, we're still picking up these bears with these 10. These guys at the top, these 11 guys are also picking up those bears. That also helps save us a bunch of wood. We are dropping pastures. We have 4 pastures, but this 100 wood investment is helping us save a lot of wood for infrastructure. So that's a big thing. We wrap around the side here. We don't see any walls. We don't see any towers. So we're gonna come through and try to hit this farm line. So he just had a feeling. He just had a feeling that we were starting to wrap around. So good instinct. We were coming through. Drop the speed arrow to kind of avoid these longbows because they will shred us. And on the front, we had more Mangadai grouped, and they just kind of running through the front, unfortunately. So we have our 1 stable. Now we're going to tap up another stable, and you guys are dropping off on the step readout. And our eco's looking pretty good. We're at 57 eco, and he's at 50. So we got a slight eco lead right now with 7. We see he's dropped his lane mark out here in the back. We do have our veteran upgrade, and we're getting our undermesh for range damage or range armor resistance. And yeah, he wasn't pushing us or anything. So you can see here we have 600 wood, dropping a prayer tent. Our wood is going bonkers right now, and we got 20 on wood, which is huge. We're gonna move this skirt over to here, I think, and start picking those berries. We'll just go to revision. We wrapped all the way around and through. And we killed a bunch of villagers. He was just not paying attention there. We killed quite a few villagers through here. And so now his eco's at 50 and our eco's at 63. So killing those 6 villagers made it double the difference of eco lead that we had. So that's definitely affecting him quite a bit. So we're just trying to run out and escape these longbows that are chasing us. And he's going to garrison these villagers, and they're going to do a lot of damage to us here. Yeah, a ton. So, one kind of big mistake is I don't do my Uvu this time, and I don't get superior mobility. Superior mobility makes me not bring this Gur and just build a new one with these guys. Because I don't have superior mobility, I don't do that, which could have been big. Another thing too is there is a line right here. 100% better play is Tower and Gur. Because if he does come up and go for this gold, which is technically his gold, he's gonna have to fight for it a little bit. So we're building our priest. We already have one out picking up the relics. He's got this relic on his side, and he had another relic as well on his side, which he's secured already. But we're gonna secure 3, and he's gonna secure this one up here, which we are heading for right now, I believe. We ran through with some knights too for raiding. Wolf is attacking us. Yeah, we're running these knights up for raiding. We drop this. We're gonna pick up some more. These are the original Mangadai that survived from that first raid. We repositioned these archery ranges because we want this space to build pastures and keep it kind of tucked in between the two. We picked this up. A little bit bad timing there, unfortunately. Kill this wolf real quick. That was annoying. And we come here to raid, and he garrisons his villagers pretty quick. But we kill a couple. Nothing huge. But it's nice to get a couple villager picks. Over here we had moved our girl over to the sheep or deer, and we dropped a tower just for a little bit of safety. Behind this we've got nearly 70 villagers, and he's got 53. So we're keeping a pretty big lead. So he's pulled his knights back. He's got 7 knights. We did some damage here. We idled a bunch of workers and we're pulling out, and he's garrisoning all of these, so that's more idle time. His wood eco is going pretty ham though. Ours is going even harder. We got 21. Monk is gonna go pick up more. We get picked off by these knights here, so that raid kind of dies. But at the same time, we're sending another one with these knights. We're gonna try to hit this wood line that I know is right here, and they do get spotted out. But we are able to kill, I want to say, 2 villagers. Okay, never mind. No villagers. It looks like, yeah, no villagers, just us. So a suicide mission, but it's tuning up some things. One thing I did want to do was drop a siege workshop. So I felt like in a lot of games, I don't drop my siege until it's too late. So I wanted to start building my siege mass here. I'm dropping my mangonels. I've used up all that wood that I had stored up. Well, now we're dropping 16. We have 16 pastures. We're dropping like 6 more. We're transitioning to a stable, centralized food source. At the same time, we're kind of suffering for gold because we're transitioning to over here. These villagers are building towers. They're just fast building them just in case they get raided. He has knights. I don't want to lose my gold production. But it's a nice juicy gold lane, so it's going to sustain us for a long time here with a step. That's going to give us 12,000. And we're coming up here to start raiding again. And we bump into his force here. And see this mangonel. We see his archers. And we're just going to try to run through and hopefully have him chase us. He doesn't bite the bait. He's only going to commit with 3 knights. And he's going to keep pushing our base. Which has no army. We got a couple knights. We do have almost 1,000 wood again. So we're in a decent spot in terms of wood. Kind of sucks Mangonel wasn't in attack formation. Our Mangadai do hit this front. And we're able to do some damage to his villagers here. So we kill a bunch of villagers. And we get out of there right in time for those mangonel shots. And we're going to hit his farming eco. Over here, we're kind of duking it out with these knights. We're going to lose. Up here, he makes us commit to garrisoning all of our unit knights. We are producing some knights. And we've got a ton of wood. At this point, I should have pulled a bunch of villagers from here. And start building a bunch of infrastructure, and which what I end up doing, but you can see I've got 1,500 wood, so it's something that should have been done already. Also, we have plenty of wood to drop a second TC, so it's not the end of the world if we do lose this TC. Let's go to our vision. Yeah, our raids have been killed off, so we're just kind of purely defending now. We have 74 eco, and he's got 48. So you can see we did a bunch of damage with the raids. We dropped him to below where he was a while ago. I try to grab a relic in Wololo here. And it succeeds in kind of slowing down those knights a little bit. But yeah, we're getting ram pushed. We're going to lose this TC. We're going to start building some towers with these villagers. We're still building villagers here. I didn't want to stop villager production. And we finally pulled 7 villagers from our wood line, and we dropped 7 stables. So we start competing his military. Military production-wise, he's got, what, 4 stables, a siege workshops, 1 barracks, basically 3 ranges because of this council hall. got decent infrastructure. He's also moving up to this gold. So this is where if I had a tower here, and it sucks timing wise, we are so close to being able to stop this. But it happens. He's pushing us hard here, but we've dropped a bunch of towers up, and we are upgrading them with springles. We're gonna garrison these guys. They got a place to garrison now, thankfully, and we are kind of losing our prayer tent, which sucks. But at the same time, our knights are starting to filter in, and this infrastructure in the back is going full go. We are also upgrading our horsemen just in case we have to start producing them. We have an okay amount of gold, but we're resorting to wood as well. That's going to be good. We're able to burn down one of the rams. We're wallowing here. I want to say that Mangonel's a little late, but Mangonel did get a nice shot off on these longbowmen. They did a bunch of damage, which was big because it's letting these springles one shot these longbows, and we have a bunch of cav now starting to pump in here. Villagers are continuing to finish these towers. We just rotated down here to pick up these berries, and yeah, sucks. He had 3 towers and his gold was coming here. If we had dropped this tower here earlier, it would have been a big difference. We're gonna pull these guys and just send them over to gold. Doesn't hurt to have more gold production too, now that we're kind of late castle age. Plenty of horsemen kind of funneling in here. We've got triple springle towers. Mangonels are kind of doing damage to us, but now he kind of doesn't have an army. And we kind of stop this, and we see he's running away with the Mangonels, so we want to fight that. Wolf is fighting us over here. These are the villagers from the deer patch from earlier, dropping a tower, taking out this wolf, dropping the gur, and then they're going to take out this boar. I do sacrifice them. I just right-click them onto this boar. I had 10 of them, so if I lose a couple, I wasn't too worried about it, and I was kind of hoping I would lose a couple. Idle. But, I mean, technically you don't want to, and you want them to even build towers. So we take out these mangonels. We lost a lot of our eco comeback potential, but his eco's at 51. And you can tell that he's not even building villages out of his king's palace. He's building only out of his town center. And you can see he's got 7 queued up. So there's definitely there's a hotkey mistake in terms of using his king's palace properly. And I was wondering how we were able to keep up with him. How it wasn't a little bit... it felt like his eco was suffering more than it should have. Got a prayer tent back up. We're going to pick up these relics. We're going around and we're going to start dropping more towers. Our military infrastructure is kind of stabilized here. 7 stables. We got 13 units of cav, and we're 5 ranges. And we're getting our upgrades for our Mangadies completed. We have a wood line was rotating. He's just burning down our gur. Oh, he tries to kill us with 1 knight here, and we're just running around in circles. So we're just gonna micro them in a big circle while he's just getting shot. We're also getting the springwood upgrade here. That boar is really good food, so I don't want to lose it. We're picking up this, and he doesn't garrison it. Yeah, that's kind of weird. Okay. Alright, well, now I see what happened. Picked it and just dropped it. We got a decent cavalry force. He's finally using his King's Palace to build some units, so I think he finally realized his mistake there, which is good. And we're just cranking out a raiding force of Mangadai. He hasn't put out any walls yet, thankfully. He's super committed to pushing us and stopping us. And yeah, we've rotated our wood line to up here. We have another wood line here already set up with gurs and down here. But we're happily chopping away here. We do have the second tier upgrade, first tier mining and wood, which is nice. And yeah, we got a sizable raiding force now, 100%. This will burn down towers real quick. Our Mangadai are positioned up here to raid this gold. I know he's getting gold from there, and I know he's committing to this kind of forward dangerous gold because he doesn't want to save his back gold because he's got 1. He's trying to build down here, and he's building a wall over here. We just go to our vision here. We haven't seen these walls yet, but we're able to idle that eco a little bit. And while they're idling, they're not collecting a little bit, so it slowed it down. And then they're gonna get hit by this cav force, which is gonna burn that down super quick. Garrisoned our 3 relics. Army production is going with 8 lancers, 4 mangadai, and villagers are queued up plenty. We have tons of wood right now at this point. We definitely could have dropped a second TC to boost our eco even faster. It probably wouldn't have been a bad idea. My eco was at 82, and I don't do much more than this. But just, I mean, it's always, I think, a good idea to get that second TC, even use it, especially as Mongols, because we have a hard time dealing with raids. Here, we're going to kill like 10 villagers down this tower and this mine. So he loses a bunch of villagers here. We also were able to raid his food line a little bit. Yeah, you can tell he's got 13 idle villagers here. So it's a pretty big play. And up here is where this is where I really wanted to hit, I guess. But it's a good thing I didn't because he had an army set up. Chasing us down here. And we get a pretty good timing here because we're able to see that he's got walls being built. So he starts running, and we're able to start picking off his villagers. He's sending an extra villager or 2 to build this. It's kind of unfortunate for him. We start burning down this king's palace. He's rotating the army he has over. Behind this, we have another sizable cav force. We accidentally clicked up crossbowmen. Swear I wasn't doing it intentional. But we end up sending him out there to go fight, just kind of as a sacrifice unit. We're able to shut down this production here, and we don't burn down this palace. And I just commit this army to trade. I know I've done a lot of eco damage. I know it's not the best fight, but I felt like I had more numbers than his spears. And we might not trade very good, but we're going to do a bunch of damage. Shut down a little bit of his food eco. And we have another raid hitting up over here. So that's kind of the big reason why I commit this fight. I probably could have actually staggered it back and separated his army a little bit further. It would have been a little bit more worth. But we're going to drop down one of these ranges to kind of reduce his capacity to fight against our mangadai raids. So we get that, and then we're gonna go for that manga now. I feel like, yeah, we go for that manga now, which was really dangerously placed. So while we're taking down this manga now, we got 17 mangadai that are gonna meet up with our 5, and that's gonna really crush his eco here. We have 50 villagers on food. More knights coming through. This gold mine is almost empty. Kind of long distance mining here. Probably should drop another gur. So this army gets cleaned up, but they've done a lot of damage, distracted him a lot, and at the same time we've secured a mangadai presence in his base, inside of his walls. And at this point, he doesn't have food. Our eco is at 90. His eco is at 47. So where it was like 15 minutes ago. So that's the crossbowman mass we sent up to go die. We have 12 ranges. Still at 7 sables, but 7 sables that are producing constant. We're getting our upgrades from our Uvu, and we see he's dropping this stone wall, his wood wall, and we're able to pick off a bunch of food villagers again. So again, crippling of his. Him kind of walling down here was probably a little greedy. He had basically a wall here. This and this, he could have finished 100%, and then expanded. So he got a little greedy doing that, and then, he probably could have walled. If he had walled earlier, it would have been a little bit different. So his late walling costs him, and now we have a force kind of burning down his king's palace, burning down here, and now these couple of knights are also protected by this this ball of mangadai, which is getting reinforced with another 9 and another 14 knights coming in. Production is also going full production. So we pull these knights back. We don't want to fight under this tower really. This we want to wait for that other reinforcements waves to hit anyways. So he's either got to fight us over here, and yeah, he just GG's. We were hitting him here, and then we had these Mangadite coming in, and at the front here we had these 14 knights that were gonna hit his side. So his army would have had to split, and he was severely behind in eco. So good match where we kind of see the 2TC able to stop a kind of late push. But overall, the 2TC I think is decent. But you can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I had a bunch of defeats yesterday. I don't know if I was tired or playing bad, but I think some of it was military transition, and some of it was also um, not playing infantry. There's cases where I was getting attacked by a bunch of cavalry or archers, and if I just got foot archers and spears, I would have been able to counter it no problem. So um, I really enjoy the Mongol gameplay and style of all calf. But to rank up a little bit higher, I'm definitely going to be looking into a couple other civs and kind of adjusting my gameplay around that. So that I mean, I can always just do Mongols and just adjust them and actually play with infantry and stuff. But we'll see how it goes. See what I end up doing. But thank you again for watching, and see you guys on the next one.